Going down with the snappiness again. Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody.
Hey
How
guys.
y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me back up from here so y'all can see. How y'all doing? Get
We
in here,
see
family.
you. We see you.
Get in here, family. Get in here.
Get on in here. Hey
Y'all
guys.
get in
Come
here.
on
Get
in.
in here. Get in here, family. I think I had something about talk back to me on the thing earlier. Y'all get in here and talk back to me. How y'all doing? How
You
y'all
heard
doing?
wait, you heard somebody say talk back to me?
No, I said I had some. I was writing earlier today. I said something about talk back to me. Y'all
Oh.
get in here and talk back to me. Talk back to me. Let me know that you guys are out there. Let us know if y'all are
Yes.
out there and talk to us.
Come
How
on
y'all
in.
doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday evening.
Happy Thursday.
Um, Thank God that we're here for another Thursday evening. Welcome to
Yeah.
Kitchen Table Talk, where no topic is too heavy.
Or too light. I didn't know if you wanted me to do it because I know I've been freezing a lot lately.
We're always freezing. It's your line, Ram. I don't get to say it. Yeah, or too light for the table. We thank you guys for joining us. We thank y'all we're so ever grateful. Um, and we just, gonna give you guys a little time to gather yourselves and get your tea, get your coffee,
Get
while
you
we
well, whatever you drink.
whatever you drinking.
That ain't coffee. That's not coffee.
Why you mind your business?
Okay, get you some business.
Get you some business.
Get on in here, y'all. Grab
Here,
your
get
choice
in.
of drink. Say that.
Grab your choice. We just gonna sit down and chop it up for a minute and everything. Um, do some housekeeping real quick. We got the doctor coming on with us again next week. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Dr. Lane Rowland, next week is gonna come join us again and tell us where we are. Oh my goodness. Where are we? Ram, you just bouncing out again. Um, her internet. But anyway, we got Dr. Roland coming next week. He's gonna tell us what's happening with who we have come to know as Rona. And man, I'm just about sick of Rona. I can't. Anyway, so I'm excited about that, and I also, before I get into talking about Laura, who's terrorizing the South down there, I want to kind of let you guys know I'm still bouncing back and forth on when I want to air. In terms of, I'm gonna scale it back a little bit. I just don't have the time to produce these shows every week like I really would like to. Um, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I want to thank a couple of you. Y'all saw my show last week, the week before, when I said I was just getting overwhelmed with all the internet stuff and just doing too much internet, because I don't talk a lot about my businesses, but I have multiple hats that I wear, and I'm doing a lot of things, and so trying to produce this show every week and contact the guests and all this. I'm needing a production company is what it sounds like I'm needing.
Oh, but okay. So remember the company that I sent you the link I sent to you. I think it was Studio 657.
Yes, I saw that. That was yes.
I
Do
talked
we
to them
do the
today.
pricing?
We need to talk. I did
Okay,
contact them today.
okay. All right, sounds good. See, God just move things the chess pieces where you need to move them. And like I was saying, I'm grateful for you guys. Those of you, even though y'all don't like to type and chat, that y'all out there, but y'all did give me personal phone calls to encourage me to keep going in my endeavor, and kind of let me know that you guys are listening and that you're getting something out of this. And that's the most important thing. I want to make sure that you're receiving something. I don't want to just be on here wasting my time and gossiping and trying to compete with all the people that are out there. There's a whole bunch of people out there doing this same very thing. And we
But
all have our own individual audiences.
but that's the thing. It's not. There is no competition. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, and you used it, and I know you didn't mean that because I know you. But
I meant for the airwaves, competing for the internet airwaves. Yeah, that's clear. No, I'm not competing with anybody because if y'all, I ain't putting no whole lot of effort into. I'm doing what I enjoy doing. Most of the things, like I've said before, I do for my children, and to leave an inheritance for my children. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So that's what I've lived most of my life. A good man, good woman or man.
But he leave it for who?
His children's children.
Which means what?
They a whole long generations.
The grandchildren and not the grandchildren.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
but
the children should have been up. The children should have been reared up in that reciprocation while they were in the home. So you're preparing for their children, not for them. By the time they're adults, they should be prepared because of what we've done while they were in the home. Does that make sense? Children.
Could you call them up and tell them?
I cannot with you.
Yasmin was just told me last night about we did that show in the first season about doing just that, preparing your inheritance and setting up your wills and everything. She's still trying to get where y'all at with the will.
When you're dying.
I came with her. Oh my God. Hi, Lucretia. Thank you for joining us. Get on in here, Lucretia. So anyway, let's thank you guys again for the phone calls and encouragement. I'm gonna keep going. I ain't gonna completely stop. I just may not be we may not be as frequent as Ram got. She's busy, she's a celebrity and everything now.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
I was featured in what's the magazine, Ram?
Voyage, LA Voyage.
LA Voyage. You guys go check that out. Where is it posted at actually?
Well, I did post it on. It's in their magazine, but I posted it on my page. I posted it on Make It Rise and on my personal page as well. I'll post it in here once we get off. I'll post it.
Yeah. Post it in here. You got a fan base in here. Y'all show her some love. Show her some love. Go over there to Make It Rise and check her out. She was featured. Got a really nice, well done article about everything that she do in her journey and where she has come from and how she got there. And it was a really nice article. So yeah, I got celebrity status with me,
You don't knock it off. There is no celebrity here, okay? To God be the glory, but
So, hurricane. My daddy and all my family, they had to evacuate Houston. That's probably why I don't see anybody on here. But yeah, they had to evacuate. It actually didn't do as much damage. Well, I haven't seen today. As much damage
I haven't seen anything today either. But what I did read is that it was supposed to be one of the biggest in a couple of decades. So that's scary. That's
they raised it to a level 4, which is major.
So a Cat 4 is that's big. That's
big. Yeah. All of my family left out. And they all scattered out, Austin, Dallas, Houston. So they went various ways. But I was telling my cousin, she went to Dallas, and I'm saying, Sparkle Touch of Class, y'all go check her out, give her some love. She sell a lot of jewelry over there. I don't know how y'all do this every year. Like every year, I gotta pack up everything that's valuable to me or that I think holds some value and put it in my car and go to safe ground like every year.
Well, that's because we aren't accustomed to doing it every year. So when you get used to doing something, when something becomes a habit, when something becomes a routine, repetition, like you already know, you prepare for that time. You go out and you buy specific things that you're going to house your documents or whatever it is that you have. Like, for example, for Pam, she have all her jewelry. So she have to make sure that she have things that she can package her jewelry in that is going to be safe, and she can ship it with her. She can take it wherever she's going. She have to prepare a few months prior, just knowing that this is the season that these things can possibly happen. With us, we don't have to prepare for stuff like that. But there's some other things we prepare for. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the seasons. We go out and we buy clothes for the summer, the spring, maybe not the fall, but we buy clothes according to the seasons, and so do they. But they also prepare to be ready to ship up out of there. Now, some folk, which I don't understand, will say, I'm going to take my chances and I'm just going to be here because I ain't going to.
I did have a cousin that stayed. Yeah, I have one that stayed. We don't talk about that, but I do have one that stayed. I don't understand why. I'm just trying to understand that situation. But nonetheless, we do have some people that stayed. I had an uncle talking about he was going to stay. I said, if you don't get your behind on up out of there and stay put till I come get you.
What do you say, stay put?
Stay put till I come get you, Uncle Richard. He gonna be like, Tina, you mentioned my name. Yes, I did. Sit your behind down. But anyway, so they're experiencing that. Our prayers and our hearts go out to them. I do believe it was one fatality that I heard today. A young 14-year-old girl, I believe she was, tree fell off the home. And so she didn't survive that experience. So, but yeah, it's rough. Like, I mean,
there's so much going on. I mean, this is the normal time for them anyway. But I'm just saying, and that's what I said. COVID came and it didn't say, well, I'm here, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make pause. Everything else that usually happen are things that are planned to happen for your life. It didn't say that. It says, I'm here, and you still have to deal with your stuff.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
So there's one thing that we're all handling or having to handle or deal with as a nation, as a world. And then you still have your own individual stuff that is just going to happen. And so if you aren't a person that is accustomed to balancing, right now will be a lot. Like, yeah. and I get it because although I think that I pretty much balance things pretty good. I'm pretty decent with balancing things. And I still get out of whack sometimes, and I have to press reset and start over and wait, like hold on for a minute, But imagine those people who are just they deal with things compartmentalized. Like, I got 12 things I need to deal with, but I can only focus on one thing at a time. Everything else has to wait, right? So in a time like this, having to homeschool your child now, having to deal with the effects of COVID-19, having to maybe work from home sometimes, and just all of those things happening at this time can be a bit overwhelming, and so people are getting lost, people are getting stressed out, anxiety, scared, there's fear, and it's a small amount of us that are saying, but God, or that are saying, I still got this, I got to keep going. There's a very small amount of us that are doing that. And so what I would say to those of us that are doing that, it's a lot of pressure. However, hold your ground, because you are the example.
Right.
But that's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. Because it kind of says, I'm not allowed to show my weakness and that I'm going through.
You don't allow yourself to show your weakness.
You know why? Because you're trying to be selfless. You're trying to be that kingdom builder. You're trying to be that example or whatever. But there's a time and place where you gotta step back. Now, you maybe not do it out front. I don't know. But you still have to do it. It's not healthy for you to just I just gotta push through it because people are watching me. No, that's not good, because at some point you're gonna crumble, you're gonna fall, and you're gonna miss the mark. So you gotta stop for a second, like jump off of social media, jump off, because on social media, you're a face of something. And so if you can't be that face genuinely and authentically, you need to just go ahead and take a sabbatical, okay?
Not a sabbatical. Hey, Mama Davis, thank you for joining. I hope you're feeling better. Oh my God, yeah. Let me want to say hey to Ali. Ali just jumped on here.
I can't see who's on, but hey, guys.
Yeah, I see the people are giving me some notes here, so y'all know I'm trying to multitask. But I was gonna say too that what you were saying in terms of not allowing yourself because you want to be sure. I mean, I don't know how else to not go. Yeah.
What you mean, strong?
Right. Like, sometimes you, I stop, I die. So it's not that, I don't know how else not to go. Like, how do to press reset or to stop? I'm trying to explain it. I know it's in my head. I don't know if it's coming out right.
Get it out.
But, okay, sometimes I don't even know that I need to do the woosah because I'm so used, my muscle is so accustomed to lifting the 100 pounds that I haven't realized that I'm only lifting it with one hand. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
But I think that even with you're using the muscle as an example, and we know that even the muscle needs a break.
Right.
We know that even the muscle needs a time to just kind of relax or whatever. So when we relate that to us as leaders or people who are being followed or watched as someone who people they're watching as an example. When we think about it like that, we have to understand that even we need a time to, even if you don't feel it, right? Because you're so accustomed to using that muscle. I would say the same way that we budget our money, we have to budget our health. We have to budget our time.
That's good.
We're budgeting our time. We have to insert the time where we are working on us, and whatever that looks like for you. You're working on you, or not even working on you, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to just kind of press reset or stop for a second. Could say, okay, me and the girls are gonna go on a weekend trip, and then I'm gonna come back and go to work. Or me and my husband, we're gonna go, for the weekend, we're gonna do A, B, C, or D. I'm not gonna answer any emails, text messages that's related to work, and then I'm gonna come back and start all over, right? We need that. And so because we know that is necessary, although we don't really operate in that, but we know it's necessary. I think it's necessary for us to budget it into our time. Write it down so we'll know, okay, this is the time. It's time for me to check out. It's time for me and my husband to check out. Or it's time for me and the girls to check out. Or it's time for just me to check out. Because they're all needed.
Yeah, that's good. You're absolutely right. You're right. Yeah, you're like you schedule anything else. You plan it, schedule, even though whether you feel like you need it or not, just schedule it so that you can. Yeah, and I think
you are the most important. The one thing that is tied to everything that you do is you.
In me,
right? It's you. So you may be focusing on, for you and your businesses, the 3 homes you have. So you may be focusing on, okay, this month I'm gonna focus on this home because I want to build these employees to do A, B, C, or D. This home, one home at a time. But guess who is constantly moving?
Tina and John.
Tina and John. I'm going to give him his props because he is great in that area, okay?
He is. He really is.
Yes, he is. So you have to know that just because you're only working on that at one time, Tina, the person that's doing the work, Tina and John, the people that are doing the work, they need a break. You know, but what I see is you guys do it. Y'all take your breaks. You go on.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. I think that's what our vacations, our little mini trips are all about. We just recently came back from camping, and oh my God, we did not want to leave. I think this trip, the camping trip this time, was especially appreciated because we were able to be out and free without masks and the whole COVID worry. We were out in the open air with just us, and
Yeah.
it just felt so good. Nobody wanted to come back. It was just wonderful. So he's already talking about doing another one.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
decided
good.
to cancel one of the other trips that we had planned for the year. We had to cancel it, so we were going to be doing another camping trip coming up here soon.
I'm
Ali
going.
say
I'm going. I'm going.
you got Ali said anyway say self care. We have to take care of the star player. Absolutely right.
You know
Absolutely.
what? One of my coach, Natasha McCrae, something that she made me do because I'm always moving, always working. One thing she made me do, I think it was like 30 minutes prior to me getting off my 9 to 5, she would send that she had a program to where I'd receive a text message on my phone and it says brain dump. And
Mhm.
so what that does is it gives me the opportunity to be intentional about dumping, because what I do at work, I sometimes take home mentally, right? I can be sitting up and don't even know I took it home, but I can be looking at the news and something comes up, sheriff's department, this happened, that happened. And because I work through the work that I receive is based on last names, right? I'm constantly looking at the news like, okay, what's his last name? You know what I'm saying? So if it's someone that I'm gonna have to do a case on, my whole weekend is kind of messed up because I'm trying to pinpoint okay, I'm gonna need to do this, how I'm gonna have to do it. So she always tell me brain dump, right? And so
Right.
once I get that email or that text that tells me to brain dump, I intentionally just kind of stop what I'm doing, brain dump, and give myself the opportunity to receive something new so I can be 100% on that, because I can't have work and my business and my kids and my dude and my friends that's way too much. It's too much.
Right.
And I'm not being productive, you know?
I know we just still doing kitchen soup, and we got to go on over to our iron skillet. But really fast, before I go into that, I just had a thought. Because of some of the phone calls that I received, we received a lot of feedback from the grief and loss segments that we did, and
Yeah.
it seems like they want encore. It was a heavy month for us, but while it was a heavy month, I feel like it was needed, and that's what we're here for, to provide a need. We're here to fulfill a need. Um, and I'm thinking maybe with all this COVID stuff and what you just got to saying, and we might need to do the whole mental health thing maybe at least once a month for a minute to get people accustomed to hearing brain
Right.
dump or press reset or
Yeah.
just pause, take a minute, or
Right.
what do you need? Because I will. I'll be the first to admit, like I said on the series, I learned so much
Me
from
too.
the grief and loss sessions about grief and loss and mental health and just taking care of yourself and supporting those who really need it, even if you don't even know you need it. You know, schedule the time, like you're saying. I don't think I need it because I'm just so used to operating in that capacity. No, and that's why you had that meltdown the day had that meltdown the day I had the meltdown. You got to schedule it and be intentional about it. So maybe we can vamp up some stuff, get with mental health Marty and Laquita to see if we can have some ongoing, regular mental
Right.
health pop-ins.
Right.
And
I
what
think
y'all
that'd
think
be
about
good.
that? Feedback on that if y'all think that's something y'all really need or would like to see the mental health cleansing and upkeep maintenance. Let us know. Next,
I think that would be good. I really do. And like you said, you learned a lot during that month. I learned a lot during that month. And although I had lost my dad, and I've grieved and I've done all that, but I still was being that strong woman. I was going through the loss of my dad and the loss of my marriage. You know what I'm saying? So a few months apart from each other. And so I want to say that I took the loss of my marriage harder than I did the loss of my dad, because for my dad, I mean, it was a short period, but I had a little time to kind of prepare mentally, like, okay, I see where this is going. This is what it's looking like. Where for the marriage, it was kind of like, yeah, I see where this is going, but divorce is not that, like, that's just not even an option. So we'll be all right. You know, we're going to get through this. So I didn't, I learned so much during that month that we talked about grieving. And I know we were talking about grief for the death of an individual, a husband or a child or whatever. But I still went through the grief process of my dad's death, and then my marriage death. Like, so that was two deaths that I had to encounter. And then still being the woman that I was, attempting to just stand straight, hold your head up high, don't let them see you sweat, you know what I'm saying? And so that was tough. And I learned a lot in that, because I assumed that how I was getting through it, everybody else that's grieving that I know I knew to be strong women or strong men, that's how they getting through it, right? So it was like, oh, I would check on you, but when you say, oh, I'm good, I didn't dig. I didn't like just say, okay, no, I need to do more. I need to make sure I'm going to sit. I need to make sure that I am, you know, making sure that she or he knows that I'm here and I am available. I need to ask questions, because you don't know what you don't know, right? When you're in that thing, you don't know. It's just like when someone say, how you doing? I mean, I'm all right. You need anything? No, I'm good. But really you do. You need something. Whether, like they were saying, whether it's just somebody to come and sit, because now I feel like you really care, that somebody is really, because once the person is gone, once they pass, so they pass away, you have all these people coming over, calling, bringing food and all that. Once the funeral has happened, those folks, the people that came from out of town, they go back home, regular life, right? But you, the person that is most attached, whether it's your father, your child, your mother, or whatever, most attached, you are still dealing with that. And even more so now, because now I don't have that company that was coming before that kind of kept my mind going. Now I'm here, and now it's real. I really have to deal with it. So I say we need you more after the funeral.
After, yeah. And even with your situation, yours was exceptionally traumatizing, I would think, because that's your whole platform, marriage.
That was most traumatizing, most embarrassing,
Right.
most, I questioned myself. You know, I questioned God. I questioned my belief. I questioned my faith. I questioned a whole bunch of stuff. It was just a whole lot that was on the table between God and I, you know, and it wasn't until I heard him extremely clear. Like, I had to literally deny self and my thoughts and my wants and my desires, and just step back and say, what are you doing to me right now? Like, me, you know, that's the way I felt. Like, for real, God, me, I did this. I started listing and naming all the things that I've done. I'm like, I did all these things for you, as if I was talking to, you know, a man, my man. I did all these things for you, and this is what you allowed to happen. Like, really? Come on now. Like, I thought I was your girl. That's the way I felt. Like, I'm your girl, and you gonna put me in front of folks embarrassed like this? And his answer was just like, yeah, but your purpose has nothing to do with your status. So whether you're single, married, dating, divorced, I called you to do something, and it had no contingencies on it, right? And there was no prerequisites like you have to be married in order for you to do your purpose. No, it was like, this is your purpose. This is why I placed you here on this earth. And I want to see if you're going to do that thing. And so, yeah, that was the hardest thing for me. I think that was nothing. I know that was the hardest task of my life thus far.
Yeah.
You know,
That was very
it was a lot of, I had to have a lot of restraint, you know. I honestly think that I probably, like, before it happened, I would probably say, if someone told me, that I would be in jail probably for life at this point. Like right now, I would be in jail. If you told me this is gonna happen before it happened, I would say,
Oh,
"Oh, this is what I'm going."
wait, if they told you you were going to divorce?
Not just divorce, but the situation that occurred.
Oh,
So,
that.
someone would be dead. I'm just saying.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's why I tell
Get the
people,
book. Get the book. If y'all talking about what situation, get the book.
get the book, The Marriage Policies and Procedures. You know
Give
what
me
I'm
the
saying?
book
I
right
tell people be
there.
very mindful. Be mindful of saying, "Girl, if I was you." You know what I'm saying? Because I would have said the same thing. Girl, if I was you, it couldn't be me. Right? I heard that so many times in that season. Girl, you better than me. And guess what? Guess how I dissected that? You're stupid. Oh, you a fool. Because when someone say, "Oh, girl, that couldn't be me," or "Oh, you better than me," that is AKA you dumb for accepting that. You're stupid for allowing it to happen or for not responding this way. So there was a lot of insecure pulling going on. Like I felt like, okay, am I supposed to be cutting up? Am I? It was a lot going on. I had to deal with a whole lot in that season, and so yeah, that was the hardest loss for me thus far.
Yeah, you getting love on from Ali. She say, yeah, she's loving the quote. Your purpose has nothing to do with your status. Awesome quote. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Ram, you need to get some more out.
I'm done. I'm done. Look, I know I'm good. I'm just saying people need to know that. You know what
That's
I'm saying? People need to know it. And I could talk about it at this point where I'm at because I'm healed. I haven't always been healed, but I'm healed and I'm free and I'm happy and I'm whole. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, which leads us into our next the iron skillet segment here. You can't handle the truth.
you
Are you
can't handle
really,
it.
are you really whole, or are you just saying that for the camera?
Are you right? Listen, it's a scripture in the Bible that talks about being having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Meaning you acting like, you talking like, but when it's time to put rubber to the road, are you really doing it? So we could look a certain way, but when it's time to show those actions, are you really? So yeah, I think this is a good topic. You and I kind of touched bases on it last night. Hence, we're talking about it today because we didn't really get to finish. But I think it's really good for us to just kind of put it out there. Like, can you handle the truth? And then, as we were talking about last night, can you handle the truth? But then can you handle the truth as the receiver? But as the person delivering it, we also have to know that there's a way of delivering the truth. Like, deliver the truth.
There's a responsibility.
There's a responsibility, right?
Correct.
Know your audience. Know who
Right.
you're talking to. And when I say your audience, not just people you don't know, but 9 times out of 10, when we're saying, can you handle the truth? Or, if it really matters, it's probably someone that's close to you. Mm-hmm. So as the deliverer, I need to know that for you, Tina, I already know you got tough skin. I can say some things to you that's not going to affect you the way that it would affect another one of our friends that's a little softer, milder, meeker. And I use this as an example a lot. So when I train people at work, right? I can't train every individual that comes in and sit at my desk the same way. I have to adjust to how they receive it, how they learn. Right. And so once I ask different questions and I'll just watch and I get to know them in that sense, then I know what it is I need to do. It's the same way with my friends. If you're my friend, I know, I can't say it like that. I'm going to have to not fluff it, but just change my way of saying it. It is what it is.
Yeah, but that the authentication of what you're trying to do. Like if I know I can't tell you for real, your breath stank, Ram, then and I used that example last night. Please don't think it.
Come on, wait, you said that last night too. Hello.
But if I can't tell you that, then how else? I got to, like you say, kind of tailor it. The responsibility on me to keep the friendship is to tailor what I'm trying to say. So it came about by us just saying that, sometimes we want to be truthful with people, but we can't always be authentic because they're not ready to receive the truth. Like I would have told you, but are you willing to receive?
But are you really
Tell
willing?
you. You might complain that, oh, so and so ain't told me, you should have told me, but were you really ready to receive it? I don't know. I think the responsibility is on both people.
Yes.
And that's kind of where, I'm like, please tell me if my brother let me know.
But see, that's where it gets, that's where it gets a little. That's where friendships for me gets a little convoluted. Like, I don't want to do all that. That's too much.
Yeah.
I want to just be able to say it, and but I get it. I get it. Not everybody. I've always been there. I've not always been there. I've been that what's the how do you say that, where you passive aggressive. I have been a passive aggressive person for years. It wasn't until maybe about 3.5, 4 years ago, where I said, no, I'm gonna say what I feel, right? It was so liberating and so freeing. But what happened in that was, because I had been holding on to stuff outside of that particular situation, just stuff in general, being so mindful of not hurting people's feelings and saying that's okay, it's just so and so. What happened is that person got the bulk of all the years prior to, you know what I'm saying? They got that energy, not what I should have said to other people, but they got that energy. It was kind of like I just forced it on them. And it was very surprising. It was surprising not only to the person, but it's very surprising to me. But guess what? Also, it was very freeing and liberating, because it was something that I never gave myself permission to do, is be honest. Like, just say it. Because I'm a believer now that I can't fluff and protect you, and I'm over here resenting the fact that I can't say what I need to say to you, when we could have probably said it a long time ago and just been good, right?
I agree with that. But I also know that we can't always say exactly what we feel.
We got to be honest.
Well, I don't want to say we can't say what we feel. I think we should say what we feel, but I think not everything needs to be said.
I'll say that.
Be honest, but not like, I don't need to tell you that, okay, be honest about what the situation is, but I don't need to go to every dirty detail in your life and blurt it out simply because I'm being honest right now.
Right.
So
right. You're not trying to hurt feelings, and you're not trying to, well, let me show you what you did wrong. And you're not trying to get any points or anything like that. And like you said, everything is not, we don't need to say everything. And that's in any relationship. Pick and choose your battles wisely. Like, some things just not even worth it, but some things are necessary to be said.
I always say, why not? Why not that I don't have to say everything? Well, because everything is not necessary to get the point across. That's what I would say. I can tell you the truth of the matter without, exposing every dirty detail in your life to you. You understand?
Because now I feel attacked.
Right.
So, are you trying to help me, or are you attacking me?
Right. That's what it will come off. So that's what the conversation. Oh, I'm sweating. Like, love these lights. Turn these lights down.
Amen, lights.
Where's my hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're gonna keep this real. Quanicia say, yes, we have to be considerate of people's feelings. Yes. Considerate. Hold on.
You do have to be considerate of people's feelings.
Right, and that's what you want to do. You want to be considerate of other people, but you got to be honest. But I guess a part of that is when you, like my sister used to tell me, because she was really, and if those of you know her, y'all already know who I'm talking about. She was really blunt in what she would say. She said a lot of blunt things, but I guarantee you, everything she said to you was true. And she would always tell me, oh, you say the same shit. I'm just keeping real. That's how she talk. Y'all know her. Oh, you say the same shit. You get nice, nasty to her. So, and I do. After a while, I have to think about that. So I am very blunt, and I've heard that I have a sharp tongue. But is it nice, nasty, or not? Is it? Should we be what's considered nice, nasty, or should we just come straight at me? Ah, ho, you ugly, whatever.
No,
Or should you be like, you know what? You could, kind of improve the eyebrow a little bit by, you know what I'm saying? It's a way
but
to do.
it's a way of saying everything. So I mean, in a situation like that, then yeah, absolutely, you would suggest like, hey, Tina, what have you tried? Doing blah blah blah, and then maybe you'll try it and you like it or whatever. Or hey, I think it'll be nice if you do whatever that thing is, right? You make the suggestion. You don't.
So that's considered nice, nasty. Instead of saying, "Oh, that hair look a mess,"
I don't think that's nice, nasty. I think that's a suggestion.
Okay.
You're not being nasty. You're just suggesting.
Well, nice, nasty is the quote of you saying exactly.
But you saying it, but you're not really saying it. Right?
You're not really saying.
So you gotta be a in between the line reader.
Everybody can't read in between the lines. Ali said, no, the delivery is everything. Kwakwa said some people can't handle it's the tone. And I believe cadence and tone is very important.
It's so important. And you gotta be mindful. These text messages, listen here. Listen, that in itself will break you up from a friendship or relationship, because here's the thing. I'll never forget I call her my little sister. One of my little sisters, she kind of she got that attitude, right? So we were at work and somebody sent her an email and she read the email. She like, oh, she said, yeah, right? And then I said, well, let me read it, right? And I read it in a different tone. And I said, now it's the receiver. So what mood are you in when you're receiving or when you're reading certain things? Because that's how you're going to take it. If I'm in everything is great today mood and you send me an email or a text, I would be like, what? She crazy. But if I'm already in one of those moods where I'm like, look, anybody can get it, I'm reading it with an attitude. And so I'm responding with an attitude. And now that person is like, what's wrong with her? Right? So many times, especially in situations where it could be taken the wrong way, just pick the phone up and call. I don't want to text.
I'll always pick. I prefer communication. Yeah, I tell my kids that all the time, because that millennial generation, that's just kind of how they communicate, and they'll tell me a full-on story, a full-on argument, all into the argument in the story, and then I'm like, what was she doing when she did that? And you're like, oh no, we were texting, and I'll be like, wait, you have that whole important conversation via text? Are you kidding me? Like, you didn't pick up the phone and hear her tone. Was she yelling? Was she that? Like that is like one of my pet peeves. Like, you need to pick up the phone and hear how somebody is talking. So tone and delivery, all of those things, you guys you're right on. So my next question is, we got tone, because we all talking about the deliverer. What about the receiver? How do we get the receiver to accept that the hairstyle is outdated and it's a mess?
So what? The hairstyle?
The hairstyle. We done been as nice as we can. We done been suggestive. How else do we get that receiver who's not willing to receive that hair is a mess to receive?
But here's the thing: if they aren't willing to receive that their hair is a mess, then let them be a mess. It's their choice. Some things are just their choice. But if it's something that is kind of life-threatening, life-altering, something that can hurt them spiritually, physically, mentally, you got to say it. You have to get it out.
Well, but here's where the quandrum is, right? Is that the right word? Quandrum? Oh, yeah. Anyway, here's where we get stuck in the middle. Yeah, right. That ain't gonna happen right now, especially not after my coffee. You said, wait, I forgot what I was talking about. Wait, what did you? Don't give me that look. You said that if the person is not willing to, so this is what we're saying. Do we, you can't handle the truth, do we now just blurt it out? We done been suggestive, we done been nice, nasty, we done everything you can. But you said you're not really receiving it, let them stay a mess, but that's hindering our friendship. Because we're talking.
But and that's why I said if it depends on what we're talking about. Now, if we're talking about something as simple as a hairstyle, if that's hindering our friendship, then
we wouldn't friends.
Okay, but if we are talking about something that is integrity bound, moral, things like that, we probably need to talk about this. It has to be talked about. And then, but you, the deliverer, have to be okay with that person not accepting it, right? Because here's the thing. My job as your sister is to bring it to you. And then guess what? I probably should bring someone with me, a witness, that it's been said. That it depends on what we're talking about. But after I've said it and you still don't receive it, and that thing is going to affect our friendship, I think that should even be stated in this conversation. But again, the delivery is still going to be important. I can't be like, well, Tina, if you don't get your attitude together, then we done. Like, I'm cool. I can't say it like that. I have to deliver it in a way where you are listening to hear me and not listening to respond and to defend yourself, right? Because if we're talking about something that you're always so defensive, I really got to be careful with how I say it. So it depends on the topic. It depends on what we're talking about.
You guys, let us know. Have you ever experienced anything like that where you had a friend who had a habit that was, completely annoying or distracting to everybody? I won't use the word annoying. I'll say distracting. And people talk about it on the outside. We've heard things, but you don't know how to tell the friend, or the friend may not be willing to receive. How do you approach it? Tell us your experience. Quanisha said, if it's my friend or family member, I'll try a new hairdo. I'll try a new hairdo and tell them to try a new one too. We're talking about real, like she said, when it gets down to morality,
integrity. Morality, integrity, things like that. I feel like I consider myself, as far as integrity, and whenever I do something like that's not cool, it really eats at me, because I do have a high standard for integrity. I do have a high standard for morality. And so if I have friends who just like, that's nothing to them, that's a problem for me. And so I may need to separate myself, because I'm not cool with it. I'm not cool with you not respecting other folks, or your integrity doesn't mean much to you. Like that's big for me. That's big for me. Integrity, big.
Yeah, but it ain't big for everybody. I want to try
that. And so, but I have the option to not be with everybody.
Look, I want to try something different. I'm trying to get creative here in our little broadcast. I just posted the link to join the live if you guys want to join and say how you've handled it.
Cool.
I think I did it right. Well, y'all let me know if y'all can get in, if y'all want to
Come
join
on
in.
in here.
Anybody got the boldness to come in and talk about a
Right. They
situation?
like, no, I don't want to go live. Just leave my comment.
Because here's the thing, it can break or make relationships, right? The whole reason
All
why we're
relationships. All
talking about this
relationships.
conversation, because it can break a relationship when you're completely honest with somebody and they're not completely ready to receive whatever it is that you're trying to be honest about. It can cause a tie. It can cause,
What about this, Tina? What about having a friend that lies to make it look like they are in a specific space because of who you are or because of where you are, and they use all these fluffers to make it look like that they are doing some things or they are headed in a certain direction because of where you're at. So they want to feel like they're a part. Now, do you look at the person or do you look at yourself? Are you saying, what am I presenting that make you feel like you need to say you are at level 8 when you are really at level 2? Like, what am I doing that make you feel that way? Or do you say, you ain't got to lie, you ain't got to lie, Craig? Do you say that? Or do you look in the mirror first? Because many times we look out the window and not in the mirror at ourselves, even with stuff like that. Because it's easy for us to say, why she lying? Just be who you are. Just, if you don't have, this is an example. If you don't have, $1,000 in the bank, don't show me some fake or some old check stubs or whatever. You ain't got to lie. Or would you say, what am I presenting, or what am I presenting as a friend that makes her think she got to try and keep up with me?
I mean, you ain't got a lot to kick it. I don't know. So why are you putting that on yourself? I know. I don't think. I mean, even though I do it too, I do put it on myself. But hearing it out loud, I don't know if that's what we should be doing.
Which part?
Putting it on ourselves. What am I doing?
No, not put it on yourself, right? Not put it on yourself, and then I also should add that if it's been a couple of people, because one person you kind of like, okay, she's tripping, she didn't have to do that. But if there's a few people that are doing that, then I want to know, am I putting on this air where it feels like we can't be friends unless you at this certain like?
Oh yeah, no. I think that totally is on the person. Well, I know for me, in my experience, what I know to be true is.
Yes,
I steal stuff, but I admit that I steal it.
You sure do. You'll tell the person. I like that.
I'm gonna take your quote. I like that. But it's like what you're saying right now. It ties into what we're saying. To me, it's a compliment. For a long time, I thought of it like how you are saying, like, what am I doing? And I had to realize that that it kind of goes to man, because then you start thinking, do I need to dim my light? I gotta be 100% authentic to who I am or who God has called me to be. And if all of these people are seeing me in my light, then that's where I'm supposed to be in my life.
Listen, last week we talked about not dumbing down. We talked about going to the next level. And at the next level, you're not going to be by yourself. You're going to be with people who are at that level, right?
Right.
And it doesn't say that, oh, well, because I've gone to this level, I can no longer talk to these people over here. No, mentor them. Grab their hand, pull them up, share some information with them so that they can come along. However, if they don't want to, you have to move forward. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody have their own time and season of growing or having those aha moments. It took me a long time to be like, aha, okay, T, this is who you are. And stop trying to not, when you're speaking,
right.
When you're speaking, don't be so mindful of how you're delivering your word because it's your word. And you're not going to be for everybody. Everybody is not going to be your audience, and that's fine. But those that are your audience, they're gonna be right there. Even if it's 1 out of 50 people, it's your audience.
It's your audience. Yeah. And my 1 or 3 that's on here.
I cannot.
You know I keep it real 100% of the time. Be authentic, 100% true. When you said we talked about this in a conversation, that was not you and I.
What?
That when you said you had that conversation about them in your life, that conversation was not with me.
Yeah, last week on our live, we talked about this.
Last week on our live,
I was in a hospital with my mom.
Oh, was that last week?
That was last Thursday.
Okay, all right. I thought you were talking about some other conversation.
No. No.
So no, you put it together. Anyway, what we're saying is you don't have to dim your light. You said it over and over
Please don't dim your light. There's somebody that needs that light.
Right. Yeah.
You're dimming your light so that someone else can be. Listen, if you're dimming your light so that someone else can be comfortable, what about this light that's supposed to be shining for somebody that's going to help them come out of
that needs the light? Remember, we're providing a service for people who have a need. You know, so if you, and now that I don't. So I just don't feel that way about what am I doing, but I know I did for a long time.
Me too.
I did for a long time. Like, I don't want people, but that's my whole life story. I don't want people not to like me until I got in a space where I don't really care, because I got something I got to do. And I have to be I got to be authentic to who I am.
So when you say you don't care, do you really not care, or you don't care to the point where it affects you to stop?
Right, that part. I don't care where it affects me to stop. Not that I don't care about a person's feelings, because I still don't. I don't do things to intentionally hurt people.
Yeah.
That's not my mission. I just can't babysit every single person because
it's too many.
It's too many. I would be completely
keep up. So just be your one self.
Right. I gotta be right.
When you say you can't be concerned about hurting people, here's the thing, because we know that hurt people, but bless people, heal people, heal people. So if you've been healed or you're blessed in a certain area, you are actually held accountable to show that person how to be healed. You are being held accountable to show that person how to be blessed, right? And so if you are hurt, you're not held accountable to show that person how to be hurt. You're held accountable to get healed, to get free, so that you can go be in a different space. It's just so much to this. It's so much. We've been on here for 57 minutes, but it's so much. It's so much.
Wait. You don't now listen. That's what happens when you get to preaching. If y'all missed our live audience, I just put her there and I let her go and operate in her own space. That is what she does. She just gets to preach it. Y'all gotta go catch that live audience show. I so miss the live audience show. I want to do a social distance live audience show. I really because I miss the people. We intended to do. Started out being at the table. We want to be back at the table, talk face to face with people. I really just we got to figure out a way to put that together. You're right. We have been on here. We're coming up on the hour. And we need to let the people go.
Let the people go.
But we thank you guys for joining us while we ramble on. Listen, y'all don't want to miss next week. We got Dr. Lane Rowland coming back next week. He's gonna explain us where we are with the COVID and where we go from here. Is it to go back? When will we ever go back? Are we ever gonna go back? Or is this
now speaking of, can you handle the truth?
Right.
He's an infectious disease doctor.
Oh, infectious disease control doctor, yes.
And when I say there is no fluff with this guy, there is no fluff. So if
Put
you
your
can't handle the truth, that
big
won't be the
girl
show.
drawers on, like they say. Put your big girl panties on. Because we gonna give it to you raw and uncut. After his last show, some people told me they had to turn off. They got so afraid and started hyperventilating. They was nervous, but he was giving you the real truth. You gotta be mindful that we don't give you all of the, because if they did, everybody would just panic and we
Yeah.
would be in like a chaotic situation. But this man tells the truth and he tells the real it is, as it is. And
Yeah.
so y'all come back next week, tell a friend, tag a friend, IG a friend, DM a friend, do whatever you gotta do. Just get here.
But
If,
don't be sliding into no DMs. If you ain't supposed to be there, don't be in there, right? Don't be using the kitchen table talk for your slidage.
yeah, Kitchen Table Talk told me to slide in your DM. No, we ain't promoting none of that.
There's
No.
no that.
But, tap a friend. Oh, wait, you can't even touch your neighbor.
Can't touch
Anyway,
your neighbor.
can't touch your neighbor. Don't touch your neighbor. Wave at your neighbor. Y'all come back next week. It's gonna be next week, and then the following week or maybe we should push it back a week. I'm still trying to. I'll post it on the thing, but definitely come back next week. We're gonna be here at the kitchen table where no topic is too heavy
Or too light.
or the table. We'll see y'all next week, guys.